Hey there, folks. Let's talk about Sikhism. Now, Sikhism is a religion that's going to originate in 15th century India. Now, it's going to be coming about largely due to social and religious division that was happening within India. In the northern part of India, you had Islam predominantly as the religion of preference. Majority of people are believing in. And in the south part of India, you have Hinduism. Again, India is a very large and diverse area. So you have this kind of divide between religion. You've also got a divide in just the culture. Those who are Islamic in the north are going to act somewhat different than those who are Hindu predominantly in the south. Part of that's going to be geographical as well, but the big thing to understand is there's going to be a lot of social division and a decent amount of religious division as well. The caste system is another thing that's going to be prevalent throughout India at this time period. Again, we talked a little bit about this. This comes from the Hindu belief, so it's going to be more prevalent in the south than in the north. This is a system where you are reincarnated into a different caste or a different social structure, and you're going to be there throughout your entire life. If you do a good job and you do good deeds based within your individual caste, you can rise up in the next life. If you do poor deeds, you will go down. So it's going to really increase the division, and there are a lot of people in India who really want change. Of course, there's going to be fewer people in the top part of the caste system compared to the bottom. And this is just going to exacerbate and expand the idea of division that's happening in India. Then we're going to get the Bhakti movement, which is going to be a Hindu movement, which is focusing on a personal relationship with the gods. Again, Hinduism is a polytheistic religion, multiple different gods. So this is going to really focus on a personal relationship, so more of like a friend system. God would be like your friend, your gods would be a friend of yours versus this kind of all-powerful, more important person. Granted, they are still more important and more powerful based off of just a religious belief system. If you believe in a God, you would feel that way. However, they're going to focus more on the personal connection versus working through a religious leader as a way of accessing God. They're going to reject the caste system as well, and they're going to focus heavily on the idea of equality between believers. Sufism is another movement we need to understand in order to understand Sikhism. Sufism is a mystical movement in Islam. Again, it's focusing on this personal and direct relationship with God. Sufism is going to be very prevalent in the Persian Empire, which is going to be directly next to India. So there's going to be some kind of cultural fusion happening right through here. Sufis seek greater equality among believers as well. So the two kind of comparisons that we really see in these two different movements is this direct and personal relationship with God and this greater amount of equality among believers. Now, we've got a Hindu movement and we've got a Islamic movement. Again, India, predominant two religions at the time in India were Hinduism and Islam. These two movements are having a similar kind of goal, which really goes to set the scene of just how much of a focus and desire for equality was really prevalent in India at this time. Then we're going to get Guru Nanak. Guru is a Hindu spiritual leader. This man is going to be the founder of Sikhism. He believes in a devotion to one God, which is going to be a break from Hinduism. Hindus have multiple gods. He is going to be speaking in the idea of one God. He says he has these revelations, and they told him to go advocate for this idea of one God and the beliefs of one God. So it's a monotheistic religion. It's going to reject the rituals, authority of spiritual leaders. So rituals are very prevalent in both Islam and in Hinduism. He's going to reject the idea of doing a ritual. So we just do this because this is the way it's been. We're going to continue to do this. He's also going to reject the authority of religious leaders. So for example, Hindu gurus, he's going to say you really don't have the authority. This is kind of this idea, again, of more personal relationship with in this case, God. So again, kind of building off of these two different ideas, the idea for equality, in his revelations, which come about in 1499, he is, again, as I stated, instructed to spread the message of one God, and he states that all people are equal in God's eyes. Again, really building off of these two different movements that I was already talking about in the idea of equality. He's going to reject the divisions that are present between Muslims and Hindus in India. He's also going to reject the division that is present within society, within each of those two societies. So again, in Hinduism, you have the caste system. He's going to completely reject that. In Islam, you're going to have a division among quote, good believers and like the less good believers. You're going to have a division between men and women is present as well. He's going to really reject that and state that in the eyes of God, everyone is equal. The emphasis of his revelations are on equality. So again, treating everyone as equal human beings. One person is not more important or more valuable than another person. The idea of social justice, so you give people kind of what they need and things are right. There's that kind of equality and equity as present in the system. Rejection of the caste system, which is so prevalent in India, and a rejection of rituals. This is going to make him more popular because these are things that a large portion of society already wants. We have evidence to see they already want this based off of the two movements that I previously discussed. So he is going to become more popular because of that. Now we're going to look at the identity of a Sikh. A Sikh is going to be monotheistic. They will believe in one God. They're going to reject the caste system that was present in India. Again, everyone is equal under the system, under the belief set of a Sikh. There's a service to humanity. Service, again, this kind of goes into the idea of social justice. You give back to your community, you help those who are in need, and you try to make the world a better place. Women are also given a special role in Sikhism, which is different than we will see in Hinduism and Islam, particularly at this time. Societies around the world largely are more male-dominated. This is going to be in a movement that's going to focus on equality. So women are equal to men, which is going to be a different thing. So women are certainly going to find this as a more ideal situation because, again, they're treated with more respect and equality than they would have been within the other systems present. The code of conduct is really going to come down to the 5 Ks, which are the 5 outward symbols of their faith. You can see them right through here. Number 1 is the kesh, which is the uncut hair. Even today, when you see a Sikh man, you're going to see him oftentimes with the turban on his head, covering up his hair, his uncut, and a very, very long beard. The kara, which is going to be a steel bracelet worn on the wrist, the kanga, which is going to be a comb. Again, it's going to be in the hair, so it'll be covered by that turban. The kirpan, which is the sword. Again, you don't always see them carrying the sword around just because of obvious reasons in society today. Carrying a sword would probably not be accepted in large places of the world. However, you will probably see this in parts of India, I would imagine. I don't actually know, so that could be something you could investigate. And lastly is the kachera, which is going to be the shorts. So these are the outward symbols of a Sikh individual. So in different religions, you have an outward symbol. Like in Christianity, you'll see people wear a cross, different things like that. Jews will wear the Star of David sometimes. This is the outward symbol of a Sikh individual, Sikh man. Comments, questions, please do let me know. I will see you later. Good luck.